The answer you seek is not in the medicine, but within yourself. A quiet power is waiting to be unlocked, a forgotten harmony between your mind and body. The final truth we uncover today will change everything you thought you knew. Stay with me and let us walk this path together. Mindful presence. We often seek solutions outside of ourselves, looking for a quick remedy, a simple fix for a problem that feels complex and deeply personal. We believe a pill or a potion holds the key to restoring what we feel we have lost. But the body is not a machine with broken parts that can be easily replaced. It is a garden, a living ecosystem where every element is connected, where the health of the flower is dependent on the quality of the soil, the water, and the light it receives. When a medicine that once worked begins to fail, it is not always the medicine that has changed. It is the garden that requires our attention. The body is sending us a message, a gentle whisper at first, then a louder call, asking us to look deeper, to understand its needs, not just on a physical level, but on a mental and emotional one as well. This journey we are on is not one of fighting against our bodies, but of returning to a state of harmony with them. Think of a flowing river. When the river is clear and its path is unobstructed, the water moves with ease and strength. But if the river becomes clogged with debris, with mud and stones, its flow weakens, and it can no longer move with the same vitality. Our vital energy, our chi, is like this river. When our minds are cluttered with stress, with anxiety and fear, we are throwing stones into our own river. When our bodies are burdened by poor habits, by a diet that does not nourish and a lifestyle that depletes, we are muddying the waters. The medicine may be a boat that helps us navigate this river, but if the river itself is blocked, the boat cannot travel far. It is time to clear the river. This process begins with a single, simple act, the act of being present. To be present is to bring our full attention to the now, to the sensations in our body, to the rhythm of our breath. It is to observe our thoughts without judgment, like watching clouds pass in the sky. This practice of mindfulness is not an empty one. It has a profound and scientifically recognized impact on our physiology. When we are in a state of chronic stress, our body is in a constant fight or flight mode. It releases hormones like cortisol and adrenaline, which are designed for short bursts of emergency. But when these hormones are constantly elevated, they create a cascade of negative effects. They constrict our blood vessels, making it harder for blood to flow where it needs to go. This directly counteracts the very mechanism by which medications like Sildenafil and Tadalafil work, as they are designed to improve blood flow by relaxing these same vessels. You may be taking a medicine to open the path while your mind is simultaneously closing it. It is like trying to drive a car with one foot on the accelerator and the other on the brake. You are creating an internal conflict, a struggle that your body is forced to endure. By practicing mindfulness, even for a few minutes each day, we can shift our nervous system from this stressed state to a rest and digest state. We can lower the levels of stress hormones and allow our blood vessels to naturally relax. This is the first step towards allowing the medicine to work as it was intended, and perhaps even to rediscover a strength that does not require the medicine at all. It is about creating the right internal environment. Think of a master archer. Before he even draws the bow, he calms his mind. He focuses on his breath, on the feeling of the ground beneath his feet. He becomes one with the bow, the arrow, and the target. His aim is true not just because of his physical strength, but because of his inner stillness. Our vitality is the same. To hit the target, we must first find our center. So, I invite you to begin this practice today. Find a quiet space, close your eyes, and for just 5 minutes, focus on the sensation of your breath. Feel the air enter your body and feel it leave. When your mind wanders, as it will, gently guide it back to the breath. Do not force it, do not judge it, simply observe. In this simple act of observation, you are beginning the process of clearing the river. You are taking the first and most crucial step in reclaiming the innate power that resides within you. This is the foundation upon which everything else is built. Without this inner peace, we are merely treating symptoms, while the root of the issue remains untouched. Body temple. Our body is a temple. It is the only one we will ever have in this lifetime. How we care for it, what we put into it, and how we treat it will determine the quality of our life's experience. For many, this vessel that is meant to carry us through our journey has been neglected. We treat it not as a sacred space, but as a convenience, a machine to be fueled with whatever is quickest and easiest, often without thought for the long-term consequences. When a medication designed to enhance a vital bodily function begins to lose its effect, it is a powerful sign that the temple itself is in need of repair. The foundation is weakening, and we cannot expect to build a strong structure on unstable ground. The journey to restoring potency is not separate from the journey of restoring overall health. They are one and the same. Let us look at the pillars that support this temple. The first is nourishment. The food we eat is not just fuel, it is information. Every bite we take sends a message to our cells, instructing them on how to function, how to repair, and how to grow. A diet rich in processed foods, sugars, and unhealthy fats is like sending corrupted information to our cells. It promotes inflammation throughout the body, including in the delicate lining of our blood vessels, known as the endothelium. This inflammation makes the blood vessels stiff and narrow, impairing their ability to dilate and allow for healthy blood flow. Medications for erectile dysfunction work by helping these vessels to dilate, but they are fighting an uphill battle against a constant stream of inflammatory signals from a poor diet. It is like trying to put out a fire with a small cup of water while someone else is pouring gasoline on it. To truly support our body's ability to respond to these medications and to improve our vascular health in general, we must change the information we are sending. We must provide our body with the building blocks it needs to thrive. This means embracing a diet that is rich in fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, and healthy fats. Foods like leafy greens, berries, nuts, and fish contain powerful antioxidants and anti-inflammatory compounds that protect and heal our blood vessels. Think of these foods as cleansing the river, removing the debris that is hindering its flow. The second pillar is movement. Our bodies are designed to move. A sedentary lifestyle is one of the most detrimental things we can do to our temple. When we are inactive, our circulation becomes sluggish, our muscles weaken, and our cardiovascular system becomes less efficient. Regular, moderate exercise is not about punishing the body, but about honoring it. Activities like brisk walking, jogging, swimming, or cycling are powerful tools for improving our vascular health. Exercise increases the production of nitric oxide, a key molecule that relaxes the blood vessels and improves blood flow. In fact, exercise and medications like sildenafil share a common pathway in this regard. By exercising, we are naturally supporting the very process that the medication is trying to enhance. It strengthens the heart, improves circulation to every part of the body, and helps to manage many of the underlying conditions that contribute to erectile dysfunction, such as obesity, high blood pressure, and high cholesterol. We are not just building muscle, we are building a more resilient and responsive internal system. Finally, we must consider the pillar of rest. In our modern world, we often glorify being busy and sacrifice sleep in the pursuit of more. But sleep is not a luxury, it is a fundamental biological need. It is during sleep that our body performs its most critical repair work. Hormones are regulated, tissues are healed, and the mind processes the day's events. A lack of adequate sleep can have a devastating impact on our hormonal balance, particularly on testosterone levels. Testosterone is a key hormone for male vitality and desire, and its production is closely linked to our sleep cycles. Chronic sleep deprivation can lead to a significant drop in testosterone, which can in turn reduce the effectiveness of erectile dysfunction medications and diminish libido. It is like trying to grow a garden without allowing the sun to set. The plants need the darkness to rest and recover. Our bodies are no different. Prioritizing 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep each night is not selfish. It is a profound act of self-care. It is allowing our temple the time it needs to rebuild and restore itself. By tending to these three pillars, nourishment, movement, and rest, we are not just making it easier for a medication to work. We are renovating our temple from the ground up. We are creating a body that is not only more responsive to treatment, but is also stronger, more vibrant, and more alive in every way. Inner harmony. The connection between the mind and the body is not a philosophical concept, it is a biological reality. What we feel in our hearts and what we think in our minds has a direct and measurable effect on our physical state. We have spoken of clearing the river of physical debris, of rebuilding the temple through proper nourishment and movement. Now we must turn our attention to the more subtle, yet equally powerful forces that shape our inner world. For many, the experience of erectile dysfunction is not just a physical issue, but one that is deeply entangled with emotions of fear, anxiety, and shame. It can create a vicious cycle where the fear of not being able to perform becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. This performance anxiety is a powerful mental obstacle that can completely override the physical effects of any medication. Imagine you are trying to light a fire. You have the wood, you have the kindling, and you have a match. The match is the medication, a tool to help start the flame. But if a strong wind of anxiety is blowing, it will extinguish the match before it can even touch the wood. This wind is the overactive sympathetic nervous system, the fight or flight response we spoke of earlier. When you are anxious, your body is preparing for a threat. It diverts blood away from non-essential functions like digestion and sexual response and towards the muscles in your arms and legs, preparing you to either fight or flee. This is a primitive survival mechanism that does not distinguish between a real physical threat and the psychological threat of perceived failure. So even if the medication is working to relax the blood vessels in the pelvis, the brain, gripped by anxiety, is sending a powerful counter-signal to constrict them. You are fighting against yourself. The mind and the body are at war, and in this war, there can be no victor. To break this cycle, we must learn to quiet the wind. This is where the practice of inner harmony comes in. It is about cultivating a state of calm and acceptance, of moving from a place of fear to a place of trust. We can begin by shifting our focus away from the outcome and onto the process, onto the connection with our partner, and onto the shared experience of intimacy. Sex is not a performance to be judged, it is a form of communication, a dance of energy between two people. When we become preoccupied with the mechanics, we lose sight of the music. It is essential to communicate openly and honestly with our partners about our fears and anxieties. Sharing this vulnerability can lift a tremendous weight and transform the dynamic from one of pressure to one of mutual support and understanding. Often the fear we hold is far greater than the reality, and simply speaking it aloud can diminish its power over us. Furthermore, we can incorporate practices that directly soothe the nervous system and promote a state of relaxation. Deep, diaphragmatic breathing is one of the most powerful and immediate ways to do this. Before being intimate, take a few moments with your partner to simply breathe together. Place a hand on your belly and feel it rise and fall with each breath. This simple act sends a signal to your brain that you are safe, that there is no threat, and it can begin to shift you out of that fight or flight state. Techniques like guided meditation or progressive muscle relaxation can also be incredibly effective in releasing the tension that we hold in our bodies. It is about training the mind to find stillness, even in moments of vulnerability. This is the path to inner harmony. It is about recognizing that our thoughts and emotions are not just passing clouds, but powerful forces that shape our physical reality. By learning to calm the wind of anxiety, we allow the match to do its work. We create the inner conditions for the fire to burn brightly, not just for a moment, but with a steady and enduring flame that comes from a place of deep connection and inner peace. True power. We have walked a long path together today, from the quiet presence of the mind to the sacred temple of the body. We have cleared the river and sought inner harmony, and now we arrive at the final understanding, the core insight that changes everything. True, lasting power does not come from a pill. It never has. The medication is a guide, a temporary support, a finger pointing the way. But the destination, the source of true vitality, is you. It is the alignment of a clear mind, a nourished body, and a peaceful spirit. It is discovering the innate strength that has been there all along, buried under years of stress, poor habits, and self-doubt. To make these medicines work again is to no longer need them as a crutch, but to see them as a tool that has helped you rediscover your own capacity. The ultimate goal is to become your own source of strength. The real work is in the daily practice of mindfulness, in the conscious choice of what you eat, in the discipline to move your body, and in the courage to face your inner fears. This is not a quick fix, but a lifelong journey of self-mastery. It is the path of the warrior, who finds strength not in his weapons, but in his unwavering center. This is the journey from being a passive recipient of a cure to an active creator of your own well-being. This is the moment you stop asking what a pill can do for you and start asking what you can do for yourself. Embrace this path, for it leads not only to the restoration of one single function, but to a life of greater vitality, connection, and profound peace. The power was never in the bottle, it was always within you.